Hey, Hear and Play people, Jermaine Griggs here, and I am so excited. This probably has to be one of the more historic moments in the company's history, if you will. 15 years teaching people how to play by ear, what they listen to and what they feel. And what we've started doing now is a series on how to read sheet music. I know, you probably thought that moment would never come. And so many people on our list over the years have said, can you teach us how to read sheet music? And I've always said, we are Hear and Play. You know how to read, we're Hear and Play. But what we've done now is we've said, you know what? If you can learn both, right? If you can be proficient at reading and hearing, that is like the total musician. And so that's what we've embraced now. And no better person than my good friend, Lara Mirinjian, that we're just so privileged and honored to bring to you to teach you. Because I'm gonna be honest, I can't read sheet music, so I can't be the one. And JP don't read sheet music, but Lara is classically trained. This is what she's done for over 20 years. And so I just wanted to interview her as she'll be the one giving you these lessons, but we thought let's get behind the person. Let's really talk about how she got to this point, why you chose this, why classical music speaks to you, your method of teaching, your philosophies. And so that's what we hope to do. So Lara, thank you so much for being on.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you. And where does it get started? How did you find out that you'd be doing this, for the rest of your life?
Pretty much I started playing when I was 6 years old, so really young. And I loved it. I loved the piano. I loved music. I just felt like I listened to it a different way than all my friends. So I asked for piano lessons. And
you asked?
I did.
Okay,
yes.
So your parents didn't say, we
no,
need you in an
it was not
extracurricular.
forced. Yeah.
You were not forced. Oh.
So they found a little class for me. It was kind of like a group class with all the other kids. So we just had our headphones on and we would practice the one piece for the week.
Right.
And then we would have about 5 minutes with the teacher to tell you if you did it right or wrong, give you a sticker, and then you went home.
Right.
So it wasn't until I found my next teacher that I really started digging into the classical music and learning the right technique and just building my repertoire. And then I decided I really, really loved music and I wanted to pursue it as a career when I was about 19. So it took a while for it to really catch up with me.
Right.
Because to be honest, I'll throw it out there, I was not practicing every day. I was like, I love it and I love playing, but who likes practicing? Nobody likes practicing, and I was just another one of those. But I loved it, so when I really liked a song or a piece, I would play it over and over. And my teacher really encouraged playing music that I wanted to play, which is, I think, one of the main reasons why I still play, because I had friends my age around me, some of my best friends,
Right.
who started pretty much the same time I did, and they had strictest teacher ever, and they would leave lessons crying. They would, they're 10 years old and their hair is turning white from having to practice so much and getting ready for the competition and all of that. And my teacher was more of just, all right, let's focus on, how much you love this piece, and let's, to practice the ones that you actually like, so you learn.
It's interesting you mention that because we get so many emails, and you guys will know, you're probably listening, of people that started in their youth like you, and then they let 20, 30, 40 years pass, and now they're coming back to us as adults. And there was probably an experience similar to what you've described where they just really didn't enjoy it. Their parents made them. Maybe they had strict teachers do they still use rulers and stuff?
I didn't get that. I'm not sure.
But like you said, that difference, because I wanted to ask you that, like, for you to have stuck with it from 6 on into your adulthood, there had to be something there.
Right. Yes.
So number one, what would you say to a parent, with a kid who is maybe they haven't turned that corner, like they really want to do it, but they want to kind of motivate? What would you say?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I love that question because I think a lot of parents don't actually think about that. And so I would encourage them to, because the number one thing I would say is the teacher, honestly, is the teacher. Because I had another friend who had my same teacher. He actually lived on my street, and we were just going up together and practicing, playing things we liked, and neither of us quit.
Right.
So I had my other friends, they just got to level 10, they took the test, and it was done. Never to be seen or heard from again.
Like, I'm
So,
out of here.
yeah, and then they see me play today, and they're like, oh,
I wish I did.
I wish I would have stayed. Yeah,
I know so many people like that.
Right.
So parents,
It's the teacher.
remember that. Remember that.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to go through some teachers
Yeah,
till you find the one that works.
Absolutely.
Wow. So I remember you told me you've been with this teacher, or you were, for about 10 years.
About 10 years.
So like until you were what? Going on to
Until
college?
until I transferred when I was 20.
Mm.
So I was with her for quite over 10 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly, you didn't go to college, or your major wasn't music. Your minor was music.
Yes.
Your major was
Communication studies.
Wow. So you want to be like the next Oprah, or what led you to communications?
Well, when I was younger, I was really, really shy. So I think that if you're shy and you're scared to be around people, that can really stay with you throughout your life unless you really try to go against that sort of force, and if you don't get out of your comfort zone, I don't know. It's just, I understood that you had to do that if you wanted to succeed.
Very good perspective. So at 19, so you're in college at this point, overcoming your weakness, as you say, of communications now. Obviously, you've done that now, and you get serious about music. So how do you juxtapose these two career moves?
As a musician, you are the business. So
Right.
if you're trying to get gigs, if you're trying to get students, if you don't have communication skills and business skills, then you're pretty much stuck. So that's kind of how they come together, and I love it. It's
Absolutely.
made for a really nice combination.
Absolutely. Wow. So fast forward a couple years from there, you meet a composer.
Yes. He was the, how do I say, maybe like the golden key into the sight reading world. Because I already knew how to read music. As a classically trained pianist, you learn how to just read music. You know how to identify the notes, but it takes a while. So if you were to give me a brand new piece of sheet music, let's say when I was 19, or even right before I started working with a composer, that was about 3 years later, 2 years later, I would look at a piece of sheet music. I'm not kidding. Level 1. Level 1. Okay? And I could not read from beginning note to the end without any mistakes or without stopping.
Wow.
So that's when you know there's a problem.
Yeah,
with the sight reading skills.
I thought classical meant sight reading automatically. I used to use those words synonymous.
Right.
So it's interesting to see that there's different levels even within that.
Absolutely.
Everybody's reading sheet music, though.
Yes, yes.
But the
That's
ability
how
to-
you learn.
Right.
But the ability to read it at a certain speed and with certain accuracy, that's probably I've seen in the various students that I've taught, and I've had students that come to me after years, over 5, 6, 7 years of lessons, and I do the same thing. Level 1 sheet music, they can't play 2 measures into it.
Wow.
So it's a tragedy, really, because you take that many years of private lessons, your parents spend tons of money, and then it takes you an hour to read a sheet of music.
So even us by ear players, I mean, if you play something, we're gonna play it.
Right.
Like, so at least we have that reward. So you could be at a point in classical where you really can't play it unless you go back and figure it out. Like, so like when somebody says, "Oh, you're a piano player, come play this," it's like it puts you in a vulnerable position because you might not be able to play what they're asking you at the party.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So now you're challenged, if you will, to sight read. How does that come about, and how long does that take, and how does that shift the way you think about all of this?
Yeah, so, well, the challenge is what kind of led me to finding the answer, which was it came to me through the composer because he started teaching me.
What could he have possibly said that rocked your world, that made you think differently about it, that sped up the time it took to...
So here it is. This is pretty much, it's just a different method to go about reading music. And the main thing that I would say is you just keep reminding the student to go slow, so to avoid mistakes.
We
Don't
call that
stop.
turtle speed at Hear and
Yeah.
Play, turtle speed.
Yeah, turtle speed. I like that. And you go slow, and you make sure you understand the rhythm. So if you've seen my videos, or if you haven't, you can check them out. I'm very, very strict about the rhythm. So that was something interesting too, that there wasn't as much emphasis on rhythm as opposed to playing the correct notes that I've noticed in general. And if you focus on the rhythm, the notes are easy to fix, but if you don't have the right rhythm, then it just sounds like it's all over the place. This is historical methods and historical advice, and he was taught, if you trace the lineage of teachers back up, starting from, let's say, the way Mozart taught Beethoven, Beethoven taught X teacher taught this teacher taught blah, blah, blah. He's
in that
one
lineage?
of those, yes. So it's the same
Nice.
methods that Mozart used to teach Beethoven that
So
he's
you're
passing
in
down
that
to me.
lineage.
Yeah,
Which means
I guess I am.
which means they're in that lineage.
Yes.
We can trace this down. Wow.
Yeah, and I think one of the greatest things I love about what we're doing here is that we actually get to make videos for anyone in the world to learn with these methods, as opposed to just keeping it in, tight-knit community of the pianists who actually want to become a pianist. We can
Right.
take what they learn and spread it out.
In these sets of lessons that they'll see here on the site, you're starting them with the right hand, and then they eventually bring in the left hand, and then there's this combination. At the end of this short series, what should someone expect?
You should expect to be able to play through a piece that is alternating between right and left, and it should be pretty much one key per finger. So you will learn 10 different keys and how to identify them on the staff, and combining them with your hands.
Last and final words, what would you say to someone getting started? Maybe they play by ear, but not the slightest idea how to read sheet music, or maybe they're new to all of it.
Go at this with a perspective of trying to have fun, really, because it's easy to get frustrated when you're learning something new, but to really just go at it with not too high expectations and just with a fun beginner's perspective and not getting frustrated if things go wrong. I would say that would be the mindset to sort of walk into it with, is once you start practicing in this method regularly, you're going to be able to read your favorite classical pieces. You're going to be able to read whatever sheet music.
Thank you guys for listening, watching, and taking these lessons. I'm Jermaine Griggs, along here with Lara Mirinjian. All right? Did I get it right?
You did, yes.
Oh, and I've been practicing. And remember, if you can hear it, see it, now you can play it. All right, see you guys.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the interview, we'd love to hear from you, so go ahead and leave your comments and questions in the box below. Also, for more information, go ahead and head over to www.larasmusic.com and www.sitepiano.com. And remember, if you can see it, you can play it.